One of the biggest differences you're going to notice between Outlook and Gmail is the use of labels. In Outlook, we were accustomed to creating folders and then moving various emails into different folders to organize our emails. In Gmail, you're going to have to get used to using labels. Labels work and act very similarly to folders, but there are a few differences that we will highlight here in this demonstration. So the first thing you need to realize is that the inbox itself is actually a label. So if I go into this piece of mail here, you'll notice that the inbox label is showing here. This is where the different labels you attach to your emails will show up. So keep that in mind. The inbox itself is actually a label. Another thing that you will see as we go through this is that you are able to attach multiple labels to the same piece of email. That will allow you to organize your email across several different labels and give you a little bit more flexibility. All right, so the first thing we're going to have to do then, of course, is know how to create labels. And I'm going to show you a couple different options for doing that. The first thing is if you come over here to the left side menu, you're going to look for the word more. If you have some existing labels already in there, it'll be all the way at the bottom. So you want to scroll down till you see this word more, and you'll click on that. That will expand and give you a few more options that are in here, and one of which is this create new label. So if I click on create new label, I'm given the option of creating a new label. I'll just call this test label. And if I wanted to, I could actually nest this label under another label, therefore creating a label inside of a label, much like we could create folders inside of folders in Outlook. But basically, you just get this all set up how you want, and you hit create, and then that label will appear for you over on the left menu. So there you can see is that label I just created. So that's one way you can create a label. Another way is to go into the actual email itself, and then from the label drop-down menu, you will see create new label here as well. So if I would click that, again, I get the same little window that I had earlier. So two different ways that you can create labels that will show up here in your left menu to be used to organize your email. So once you have the labels created that you are going to use, the next decision you probably have to think about is, do you want the email to not show up as a part of your inbox? Now remember that all the email as it comes in to your inbox automatically gets that inbox label attached to it. That's important to note because as we work on this, we're going to be moving things around, and that inbox label will disappear if that's what we want it to do. So that's the decision you have to decide. Do you want the email out of your inbox? So let's assume for a second that that is what I want to have happen. I want this email message to not be in the inbox. I want it to just show up in my label that I created here. So again, a couple different ways that we can achieve that. The simplest probably is to just click and drag the email over to the label, and that moves it. So now notice in my inbox that piece of email is no longer showing in here. If I want to see it, I come over and click on test label, and there it is. If I open up this email, you'll see that the inbox label has disappeared and just the test label is showing up there. Okay, so that is the easiest way. Just click and drag the item into the label that you want to move it into. All right, so let me move that back. I'm going to go back into that piece of email. I'm going to move it back into my inbox, and I want to show you another way that we can do that. And I'm just removing that label out of there, so I'm basically back to where I started now. So another way that you could do that same thing is from within the message itself. So I'm going to go into the email message, and this time I'm going to use the Move To drop down. So if I click on this, I have the list of labels showing up here. Here's my test label. I'm going to tell it to move to that label, and it tells me the conversation has been moved to the test label. I can learn more or I can undo it. It is all done. If I come back into my inbox, notice that message is gone. It is just like before moved into the test label. And there you can see it. The inbox label is gone. It's no longer showing. So that is how you can move messages out of your inbox into your labels to kind of clear out your inbox. I know a lot of people, that's how you kind of organize your email. You keep your inbox empty and you put and move mail that you want to keep into different, you've called it folders in the past, but now you're going to be moving them into labels. Okay, so your other option would be that you want to keep your email in the inbox, but you want to attach labels to it. So I'm going to go back into my inbox with another piece of email that I had in there. So this document is in the inbox. It has the inbox label to it. So how do I attach multiple labels to this, but at the same time keep it in my inbox? So again, all you're going to do is go into the email itself. This time you're going to use the label drop-down menu, and you're going to indicate what labels you want that to be a part of. So I can add it to that test label. I could add it to this label called Google, and I'm just going to hit apply. Now notice that it has the inbox label, it has the Google label, and it has the test label. So if I return to my inbox, the message is still there. If I come over here and go to the Google label, it's a part of that label. And if I go into the test label, there it is in there as well. So that's an option that you can use if you want to keep a particular piece of email in your inbox, but at the same time attach labels to it so that you can start to organize it into your organizational system you've created with the labels. So hopefully that all makes sense. It is a little bit of a transition from Outlook folders to Gmail labels, but I think once you start using it, you'll see that there are some similarities, and hopefully that will get you started in organizing your inbox. For more information on Gmail, please continue to watch the rest of the videos in this playlist.